to Imperial Kingdom. So let's talk about Boots. Boots Ennis had a fabulous fight the other day. Fabulous fight, incredible. Between himself and Xander. Xander Zayas has been quite a big boy in the 154, and even he himself says he feels like he might have to move up in weight and go up the next division above 154. Well, he didn't even say the next division. Who knows? Maybe he thinks he needs to fly 2 divisions. Who knows how big he is? He really is in his own mind, or how he feels, physically. So last night was fabulous. That's what you call a real scrap, a real boxing scrap. They went at it hard, without any hesitation. There was zero pullback from either. They just went at it, and the fans it was a birthday for the fans. They got their wishes. Nobody's heart was broken except Zaya's. But he's so young, it doesn't matter. Surely he can go forward still. If he's as good as he is, then there should be more in the pot for him after. That was a brutal beating though. That was a brutal beat. And again, if you're gonna get beaten like that, perfect time is so young. So young. His body's gonna recover. His body will recover. And what he'll benefit from that is the experience. This is one of those fights that you call experience. Experiences in the trenches, in the ring. They're gonna build up your character, definitely. They'll also build up your skill set. You know what to do, your knowledge of the game. Now, we're going to talk about Boots Ennis's not so much resume per se, but the kind of delay he's had in his career as far as the question of his stardom that should have been shown quite a while ago. He's like 30 fights deep, and people have said he should face Bud Crawford. Wow, someone clamoring for that fight because he's obviously a very skillful fighter. Boots is a skillful fighter. He's got all kinds of special things he brings to the ring, and we all know already how special Bud Crawford is as far as his record is concerned, and what he brings to the table and all this, and how he's cracked in the ring. But people keep saying they want to see Bud Crawford with Boots, and it doesn't make any sense because Bud Crawford is way up there in terms of rankings and record and what he's achieved and what he's doing compared to Boots, who had barely done anything in the ring. Bud had cleared Errol Spence, the bone-breaking big fish. Spence had broken people's orbital bones, cheek bones, rib bones. And the last person Spence fought just before Bud Crawford, Spence broke all three categories of those bones. And that person was an elite fighter. He wasn't some rubbish dude. He was an elite fighter, and he got all his bones broken like that by Spence. And the fight, I believe, didn't even go up to even round 7-8. Then he fought Bud, and Bud took him out. And Bud went for Madrimov, then he went for Canelo Alvarez. The king of 168 division, and one of the main faces of boxing. So, someone like Boots facing Crawford wouldn't make any sense, because if Bud beat him, all they'll say is Boots didn't have any experience. He hadn't fought nobody really. Who did he fought? After all that, you go and fight him, you beat him, and you get discredited for it. And one could say that's just theoretical. No, because even when Bud did that with Spence, who is much more accomplished, they had excuses after the fight. So, Boots begs the question of what he could have done to have his star shine even more. He had the opportunity. This is where we're going right now. He had the opportunity to fight Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is a great pull in those divisions. Ryan Garcia challenged him. Why didn't he challenge Ryan back? Why didn't he face him? He just silent. I don't get it. Boots is quality. Boots is a fabulous fighter, no doubt about it. He has almost everything you want in boxing. You know, skill-wise and all that stuff. He had a great trainer, his father. But why didn't he face Ryan Garcia? Ryan challenged him. What was the reason why? Why wouldn't you face Ryan Garcia? Ryan said, I want to face Boots. And he threw some words in. You know how Ryan is with his insults and all this. Boots was just silent. Boots was just completely silent. He didn't say a word. You know? And that's just very, very surprising. There was just zero comeback. Zero response. What's the point? So how can we get over that hurdle, even mentally, to try and understand why there was zero response? That's a huge commercial fight, massive fight. Who's Ennis v Ryan Garcia? Get it popping? No, nothing happened. He was challenged by Devon Haney. Can you imagine? Nothing happened. Or at 147, nothing. He was challenged by Teofemo Lopez. Lopez was throwing racist words about and big insults all over boxing, just like Ryan Garcia. And absolutely nothing in response. There was zero response. So what was the point? Can you tell me what was the point? There was 0 point in that because he should have come back. There's a lot of money waiting in the pot for that. But there was zero response, zero comeback, nothing from Boots. Can you imagine? Teofemo Lopez said all that crazy stuff, all that junk. And you know how he goes. You're thinking, okay, Boots is going to settle this one down. No, nothing. But we keep hearing, in the midst of all that, we keep hearing Bud's name. Not from Boots directly, though. Usually it will be someone else mentioning it. And then they ask Boots. Then he says, you know, his mouth just opens up. And he says something. Bud this, Bud that. Like, I'll take Bud easy. Oh, that's easy work. What are you talking about? You can't now go to the top of the hill talking about Bud, all the way up top of the hill, when you got Ryan Garcia talking about you, and that's a big fight. And Ryan is pretty good too, right? Even though we know he cheated. Ryan cheated on Devon Haney. He cheated the scales. Ryan cheated the scales.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now 6:25, and they said the doors will be locked in 5 minutes. Will all the remaining members of the public please make a final arrangement to leave the center via the nearest exit. Thank you for today, and may God bless you all. Goodbye.
Thank you. We'll continue. So, Boots had the opportunity to take that fight with Ryan, and we got 0 back. All the boxing world got 0 back from that, from all that chatter. Boots didn't respond 1 word. Then there was the issue with, like I said, Devon Haney. 0 word. Then there was the issue with Teofemo Lopez. I call him Teofemo Lopez because he's very racist and very rude, and very disrespectful, extremely disrespectful. He needs a slap from someone. But anyways, 0. That would have been a great fight. Teofemo, a great fight with Boots. Imagine that. Come on, man. Any one of those fights. I don't care which one it was. Just the one. Forget even 2. Would have raised Boots' profile so much higher. Today we're talking about, oh, Boots, this one has made him a superstar. Vizenda, he actually got the belt. This. Yeah, absolutely. It's made him. It's given us some kind of insight, some kind of look. But some people could say, yeah. But imagine if he had done that with Ryan, or he had done that with Teofemo Lopez, or he had done that with Devon Haney, because Devon also gave a whole load of words to him at 147. Now I have to drop the caveat that we're not God, and neither is Boots, to say he would have definitely won all those fights. Of course, we expect him to have won those fights, generally speaking, because he was really the 147 guy through and through, and the rest of them got there and they were settled in 147 too. Yeah, let's be true. They weren't just all of a sudden 147. They are pretty big, steady boys for their weight as well. So, could they have beaten him? Of course. In the world of possibilities, you can't say they couldn't have possibly beaten him. But we're looking at from the perspective of if he had won, right? How high his profile would have been by now, right? Including the finance that comes with it, the money that comes with it, but also just profile-wise. Resume is thick and nice. So whatever we're talking about as far as what he would have done with Xander, or what he just did last night, imagine this plus all those three. So it's a huge mystery as to why. Why didn't you fight? I don't get it. I don't understand why Boots hasn't fought. I would say this to Eddie. Eddie wouldn't push it really, I guess. If you want to fight those people, you should say. And some people saying, yeah, now he's gone up though. He's now 154. Yes, but at the time he wasn't saying that. At the time he said, I can make it easy. So, of course I support Boots and I paid to watch his fights. But that fight, those 3-4 fights should have long been done. Conor Benn said something about Boots, and Boots, he said something about 154. I'm clear up the whole division, 147. Boots didn't reply. Boots didn't say anything. If I'm in 147 and somebody says that you're gonna hear me, let's get it popping. You see me already. I challenged Anthony Yard. I challenged as an extreme martial artist. You know, answering the speculation of how it goes in boxing versus an extreme martial artist. I challenged Anthony Yard. I challenged Liam Cameron. He said to me, "You're scaring me. You're scaring me."
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back again. The time is now 6:30, and I must inform you that the centre doors are being locked. We're all remaining members of the public immediately leave the centre via the nearest exit. We thank you for your custom today and hope you have a pleasant evening. Goodbye and God bless you all.
Merci beaucoup. So, I challenged Anthony Yard. I challenged Liam Cameron. Liam Cameron told me he's afraid. And I still got his message. I told Eddie Hearn the other day. I've got Liam Cameron's message if you want to see. I challenged David Benavidez. I challenged Joshua Boatsy. I challenged Dan Aziz. Basically, the whole roster of the light heavyweight division in boxing I challenged. Nobody wanted to get it popping. They were scared. Except for Lyndon Arthur, I challenged and he accepted. But then he decided he didn't want to. In the very last minute, he pulled out to face Dimitri Bivol. And they had that fight. So I said, whatever, man. I'll step up to you, to maybe the cruiserweights and see what happens. If Benavidez is up for it still, we'll get it popping. But this is about a martial artist fighting a boxer in a boxing ring. That's completely different proposition, because now we're looking at how does it go? If an extreme martial artist of the ancient arts steps in with a boxer, with the claim that he has a full mastery of this, and boxing is an aspect of it, and what we call Western boxing, boxing world calls it Queensberry rules. how does it go when they exchange at their best? I don't need you to be a pussy. Let's get in there as you are, at your best. I don't need to see your weakness. I don't need to see you at your weak, like you were drunk on a drunk day, and fight you. You know, Ortiz was getting in with Boots just the other day. Just last night, because he thinks he saw Boots and he sees something, some kind of vulnerability or whatever. No, because he was silent the whole time. He didn't want to reply until he thinks he disappeared into where. Now he thinks he saw something. But anyways, I'm saying, yes, I like Boots fighting. I like all that stuff. I support them. I watch, but who can address the mystery of this? Why did we fight those fights? And now you're here, you're facing all this. For what? You're facing all this now. Now you've got big Fundura in front of you. You've got this one, that one. Great. Let's see that. I'm looking forward to it for sure. And I'm still going to watch and support. But don't talk about Bud. That's ridiculous. To be honest, they're the ones who ask it. But he should have a smarter answer than to say Bud is easy work. Xander was not easy work. He took him out though. Yeah, he ripped him out. That was a battle. But to say the real thing, let's get it. Let's enjoy it. I do like Boots. I want to see all the boxing, you know, best boxing. And we're enjoying it. It's funny to me, a lot of this stuff. But you folk, get your heads in order, man. Get your heads in order and stop talking some nonsense. Talk real stuff. We're enjoying it. Imperial Kingdom. Let's get it popping. Have a nice day.